it's like. Last week we talked about the AFC, and this week we're going to talk about the NFC, but I'll give you a quick preview of what we did last week. In the AFC North, I had the Steelers still winning their division without Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell. In the East, I had the Patriots winning their division and taking back home field advantage for the playoffs. In the South, I have the Colts winning their division, and after their great offseason, they had a whole lot of cap space left over. I think they're going to have a great year. And in the West, I have the Chiefs winning their division and taking over the Chargers. Now on to the NFC South. This is going to be a very close division, and it's possibly going to be Drew Brees' last year for a Super Bowl run. So I think that the Saints are going to take the top of their division. With the Falcons, I think Matt Ryan's going to have a good year. They're going to get Devontae Freeman back, and they really missed him last year. But I think Julio Jones is going to suffer a few injuries, and that's really going to set them back. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to have a down year. I think Cam Newton's going to suffer a couple injuries and force Christian McCaffrey to take on a bigger workload. Now on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Jameis Winston is their future quarterback. I just don't know if the Bucs know that yet. This team has a lot of talent. I just don't think they're going to be able to come around this year. In the NFC West, I had the Rams taking their division, going back-to-back. I think Gurley has less production this year, and they're going to have to rely on the young arm of Jared Goff early in the year. I think the Seahawks take the second wildcard spot. Russell Wilson is really going to have to get this job done because all he really has on offense now is DJ Metcalf, and hopefully he doesn't have as much injuries as he did in college. And all they have on defense is Bobby Wagner. I know there's a lot of hype behind the Cardinals' first-round pick, Kyler Murray, but I don't know if he can do much this year due to the weaknesses on the offensive line. The San Francisco 49ers had a lot of improvement on their defensive line this year. They might be the most improved in all the NFL. And they might surprise us coming up this year, but they're really just going to have to prove it. Now on to the NFC. In the NFC North, I have the Packers winning their division. After firing Mike McCarthy and hiring Matt LaFleur, I think he and Aaron Rodgers are going to be a great duo, especially coming up in the playoffs. I have the Vikings coming in second. I think they're going to take a step up this year behind leader Kirk Cousins. They're going to have a good defense, so just watch out for the Vikings. For the Bears, I don't think their defense is going to be as good as last year, and I really don't think their offense is going to be able to support the rest of their team. The Lions, as always, they're not going to have a team around Matt Stafford. It's always him against the world. In the NFC East, I have the Cowboys taking their division. I think the defense is going to be a huge contributor this year, especially after getting more depth to the defensive line. I think new offense coordinator Kellen Moore is going to help this offense turn around, and they're not going to have to rely on this defense as much. I think the Eagles are going to enter the playoffs in a wild card spot if Carson Wentz doesn't get hurt. The last 2 years they went to the playoffs, they had to rely on Nick Foles, but there's no more Nick Foles in the Philadelphia Eagles. It'll be a race for last place between the Giants and the Redskins. The Giants are rebuilding, and the Redskins don't have a quarterback besides Dwayne Haskins, who they don't need to put out there being this young in his career. Now it's time for the Q&A portion of the show. We do have one question. Who is the best player up for the MVP in the Major League Baseball? I'd say in the National League, it's either Cody Bellinger, which had a great start of the season, or Christian Yelich, who has done very well this season so far. In the American League, I say Mike Trout. He's always up there with the best. If you have any sports-related questions, please let me know in the comments below. Until then, join me next time on the Mute Mobile Media YouTube Network. Thank you.